Hi, thank you for coming back to listen to me. That's my neighbor's dog. It's perfect because the topic today is your family and your pets. So there's a group of people out there that think animals are just things. Really? That they don't have feelings, that, they can be disposed of. Let me tell you, there's a huge correlation in between your family unit and your pets. Let me explain all this. So some people don't have pets. They don't like animals. They don't have pets. And I respect that, by the way. It's not for everybody. However, if you're going to have a pet, this is how you have to think. And this is how I think. In my house, it's an equal opportunity situation. The animals have exactly the same rights as any human being that lives in my house because they're alive, you see. And I took on the responsibility, therefore I'm responsible for everything that happens to them. And I want my children, my child in this particular case, to respect me and to see how I respect life, number one. So she, in turn, when it comes her time, she respects life. If you don't respect your animals and you just throw them in the backyard, or worse, you chain them up, or you don't feed them, as far as I'm concerned, you're the worst piece of shit on the planet. So you know what? I strongly suggest you don't even watch or come back on this thing, because you and I, ain't gonna happen. Unless you decide you're going to change and you're going to pay attention. Then we got something going. Then I'm okay with this, because I got this. So you see here, this is Clementine. She's our new baby. She's about 9 weeks old, something like that. Okay. She was rescued. My friend rescued the mother out of a kill shelter who had 5 puppies, and I took one. My other pet, who was also a Chihuahua, passed away a few months ago. She was 21 years old. Her name was Precious. And in our house, we mourn that loss like if it was any upstanding person in the family. We're not farmers. The farmers have a different opinion and different view of an animal as they see them as working animals or food. But some farmers also acknowledge that dogs or cats or birds can be pets, and they treat them very well. And then you have those who treat them really bad. Can somebody take her? She doesn't want to be here. Sorry, but babies, You don't need to go buy a dog. They have them in the kill shelters everywhere. They're putting them down by the thousands, and it's pathetic. But I heard something not too long ago from a woman who's actually passed away, but she wrote a book. They wrote a book about her, and her name was Wilhelm Buschinger. And she said, and I quote, "A life without a dog is a dog's life." She's right. Animals have an interesting spirit. They bring so much love in a house. They bring love to the children as well. See, when an animal comes into the house and you treat it well, their loyalty is beyond anything you will ever experience with a human being, for starters. But the best part is that if you treat that animal well and you teach your children, that animal is there for that child when you're not. Because it's unconditional love. And when that child needs a love and you're just not there, they can go to their dog or their cat And they can pour out what it is they need to pour out. You never hear about a terrorist or a hoodlum who goes on a killing spree having been wonderful to their pets. Not happening. Just not happening. You know, some people say that if everybody smoked pot, there would be no war, there would be no anger, no rage. Well, it's kind of like that with animals, by the way. If you love animals and you treat them well and you teach your kids, there's a whole new layer of balance and calmness that comes into the house. A dog or an animal is not made to be left outside. These animals are pack animals. They belong to a pack, and you are the pack. You understand that? They will defend you till they get killed for you. I don't know anybody else is going to do that for you, just saying. I'm talking about animals today because there's so much abuse out there. You know, we abuse them in the zoos, especially in Denmark. There are people that work in some shelters and abuse animals, although most people are amazing that work in shelters. But unfortunately, the shelters are kill shelters. And the dogs are brought in. So it's very interesting because this summer, I was on my Facebook and I deal with a lot of rescues. And I was looking at old dogs being brought in to kill shelters, and the same people walking out with a younger dog. What the fuck what message are you putting out there that you would do such a thing? So you wonder why, when you get old, your kids really don't give a shit if you're living or dying or eating or not. Or if somebody else is abusing you because you're an elderly person. And they put you in one of those homes. They took you to the shelter, honey. They took you to the shelter. You understand that? When I first moved to America, I lived in Michigan. And I was in an apartment, and across the way there was this little old lady. And the poor woman, they delivered her, there's Meals on Wheels, and they deliver food for the elderly. And they would deliver her meals. And I would notice that, there's nobody ever visited her. One day she was outside, a little Jewish old lady, and she started to speak to me in Yiddish. Well, I don't speak Yiddish. And she says, well, are you Jewish? I said, yes. She said, what kind of Jew are you? You don't speak Yiddish? I said, I'm a Sephardic Jew. I speak Spanish. Hello. She says, what is that? I speak Ladino. So from that point on, I started laughing. I didn't get offended at all. And we started, I started bonding with her. And I went there every day just for, half an hour. How are you? Talk to her. Give her some human kindness. This woman had children, I want you to know. They never visited the whole time she was there. I lived there for 2 years. I never saw, not exactly 2 years, a year. Never saw a human being visit her. I got to tell you, I don't wish that on a dog. I don't wish that on a goddamn cockroach. Cause and consequences again. You reap what you sow. So be careful of your actions. Because everything you do comes back. Tenfold. In my family, dogs die at home. We don't even take them to the vet. We have the vet come over to our house, if need be. They die of ripe old age. They are fed exactly like a human being. In other words, High quality food, not junk, garbage, dog food. Like, you will, if you're feeding your kid McDonald's every day, you're fucking up right there. Well, I don't feed my dogs dog food because that's like McDonald's. It's a real sore subject because I see so much abuse, and I know where abuse comes from. If you don't like animals, just don't get them. Don't get a baby if it's too hard for you to handle, because babies are difficult to raise. Puppies are a bitch. Baby cats also. They're like babies. They chew on everything, which is fine. Some people love it and can do it. If you can't, know what your limitations are. I can tell you myself, this is a puppy that we just got, but myself, to be honest with you, at my age, I prefer adopting a dog that's already grown, because I only have to say something once, they get it. And my dogs and my animals go everywhere with us. They are family. They matter. They matter. What mattered more was for my daughter to see how much I respect life. That's what really matters. It's part of the upbringing of your children. You think my daughter's going to throw me in a nursing home? I doubt that. It's not done in my family. Grandma died at home. My aunt, who never had children, I moved her back and she lived with us till she passed. That's how we do things, because we respect life. We respect elderlies, and we respect life in general. America has fallen off the train, ladies and gentlemen. It has gone completely haywire in that department. Nobody respects anything, and most of all, nobody respects life. And everybody is being thrown away like a piece of garbage. Children, animals, elderlies. Abuse is everywhere. It's not like that everywhere, by the way. Just so you understand. Not that every country's peachy. That's not what I'm saying. There's a lot of shit in every country. Culturally, different ways of living. But we fuck it up on all facets. America, in God we trust. Let me tell you something about in God we trust. God helps those who help themselves. That's what it should really be saying. You cannot treat elderly people and children and animals like garbage and go to church on Sunday and ask for forgiveness. Because if you think you're being forgiven, guess again. You just digging your own fucking grave, you idiots. There's no such a thing. Because you got some guy standing in a pulpit going, oh, if you Hail Mary this and that, God will forgive you. God is not forgiving that way. Because you see, you are God. You are part of this, the universe. God is within. You fuck it up, you pay the price. It's like the mafia that used to kill people all week and go to church on Sunday and donate shitloads of money. Do you think that fixed their soul? Really? Do you really believe that? This shit that I see every day makes me nauseous because there's no reasons for this. Because you're a bunch of idiots out there. And you allow this to happen. You allow your neighbor to abuse their child and not say anything. You allow your neighbor to mistreat an animal and not say anything. You allow your neighbor to abuse an elderly person and not say anything. Do you think that doesn't make you part of the problem? Oh, honey, let me tell you something. You are as guilty as that motherfucker doing the shit to these people or that animal. You are just as guilty. And you stand there with your fucking cameras filming this, but you don't do shit. What the fuck is wrong with you? Forget the goddamn camera. Step up. Step Step up. Protect. Have integrity. Do you not like yourself? Can you live with that? Because I got news for you. If I were to walk away of a situation that was going on like that and I didn't do anything, I would never sleep again. It would haunt me. You know why? Because I have integrity and I have compassion and I have love. And when I see things like that, it tears my heart out. If it doesn't tear your heart out, there's something wrong with you. Now, it is very possible that you come from a background of abuse, like I did. It's very possible that you come from a background of neglect, like I did. Was not neglected financially, but I was neglected in every other way. There are many backgrounds. It is up to you to change that trend. Not to perpetuate that into your household, into your children, into your animals, into your husband or your wife. It is for you to change that. You have to change that. Whatever they did, if it was wrong, you need to step up and change it. It is not okay for you to say, well, my mother did that, my father did that. Really? I am nothing like my mother, I want you to know. And I am nothing like my father. As a teenager, I swore that I would never be like them because they, although they were very generous people, they were very good people, honest, integrity, but crazy. My family, that's the way they are. They don't know how to take care of children. They just don't. They just throw money at them. Never say I love you, never say I give a shit, whatever. I swore to myself that I would never have a child until I was ready to give it all. I stick to promises that I give myself, you see. Do you? Can you? Weakness is a disease. It's like leprosy. It's like cancer. It eats at you for the rest. It destroys you. You have to understand it's not a good thing. Weakness is a disease. You have to step up. You have to make a change. We need to make changes. We cannot let somebody throw away an animal because he's old or she's old and walk out with a new one. That's not the way it is. That's not what you want to show your children. We don't leave a dog chained outside in the cold and the snow. Because you know what you're doing when you do that? You are letting your own soul being chained out in that backyard in the cold and in the snow. That's where your soul is at. You are no longer a human being. You have lost that privilege. You are a carcass walking on this planet with nothing in it, devoid of all that is human. Compassion, love, intelligence, everything is gone. That's what happens when you abuse others, anything that lives. So, if your parents did that, then I can tell you that I do have patients that have come in and told me horror stories about their parents doing what they were doing to animals. And we worked on this. We worked really hard on this, and they're amazing human beings, and they're amazing, loving creatures of this planet. Today they give plenty of themselves, and they wouldn't hurt a fly because they changed their life, you see. They changed their karma. They got control of their life. If you don't change and you buy into all this shit, you don't have control of your life. Your past controls your life. The shit from your family controls your life, not you. The garbage that you throw out from your own house is the garbage that you received when you were a child. You perpetuate the garbage. You're nothing but big garbage can all around you. That's it. And you hang around other garbage cans. Because that's what we do. How do you get out of this? You make the decision. You have to decide this, you know what? My life is shit, because your life is shit, by the way. There's not one of you out there, not one single human being that can come and tell me that abusing an animal, abusing children, and abusing elderlies, that their life is fabulous, that they're content, that they have peace with themselves. Not one. Not one, you understand? On this entire planet. That's the way you want to live your life? Really? Oh, that's pretty limiting, don't you think? Because life is a gift. Life is made to enjoy. Don't enjoy life when you do things like that. Unless you're a true sicko. Then we should lock you up, throw the key away, and that's it. I have no problems with that. If you're devoid of all morals, then you've already, you're useless to this planet. All you do is eat and shit on it. Let's put you away. If you have a pet today, as we're talking, I want you to look, how do you treat that animal? How do your children treat that animal? Don't you dare let that child mistreat that animal and then beat on the animal. No. That's not how it works, you see. Small children don't know any better. And most of the other kids, they copy what the parents do. Fix it. You will get more out of this change than anything else ever given to you. When you make the change yourself, the rewards are tremendous. Don't cheat yourself out of a happy life. Because that's what you're doing. Till next time. Ciao.